Hey, what's going on? This is Coach Jesse Coe with Kingdom Mogul Coaching, where we help you grow your faith as you grow your business. I hope you're having a great day, man. Listen, something real quick that I would like to share with you. Yesterday was my daughter's 2-year birthday. She's 2 years old now. Seems like she was like a year old for forever. She finally got to 2. And as we're having a little family party for her, I began to just watch her and how she was playing with her toys and how she was interacting with her big brother, Dean, who was our oldest son, who was our only son actually when we have 2 children, Dean and Naya. And I was watching them and just watching how my parents and my wife's mother was interacting with our children, and it just reminded me of how important parenthood is, and not just parenthood, but fatherhood. That I'm not just a father, but I'm actually a coach. I'm actually coaching my children on how to navigate this life, because we are our children's first mentors. They see the world through our eyes first. And shame on me if I'm coaching business leaders, if I'm coaching executives, if I'm coaching nonprofit leaders, but I go without coaching my children and my family. Shame on me if my house is in disarray because I'm just too engulfed in chasing clients and investing in businesses. And I was just reminded of how important it is for parents to be intentional with our parenting, with our coaching, because we are coaches. A coach's responsibility is not just to teach and train, but to also pull out the gold, the value that is inside of their client. And for me, as a parent, my client is my children, right? And so I know as a father, I'm responsible for doing 3 things. I'm responsible for creating an environment where my children can thrive. I'm responsible for validating who they are. And I'm also responsible for teaching them a standard, giving them a standard to live by, teaching them a framework from which they can live their life. And so, and as parents, as parent coaches, our responsibility is to speak to our children's potential, not just their inefficiencies, right? So when I was a teacher, when I was a teacher in the classroom, one of the signs of a good classroom manager was somebody who not just talked about when a student was acting up, but they also talked about how they could accentuate the students' positives, right? You accentuate the positives. You reward the positives, because whatever you reward is what's going to be duplicated. Whatever you reward is what the student is going to do. So you reward the standard, but you teach to the inefficiencies, right? And so when you speak to your students, when you speak to your children's potential, it demonstrates that you see them better than they see themselves, and you are willing to walk with them. Let me say that again. You see them better than they see themselves, and you're willing to walk with them. Doesn't that sound familiar? That sounds like what God does for us. That sounds like what Jesus and Holy Spirit does with. They see us through a heavenly lens, and they walk with us. God gives us grace until we get it right. Yes, there's accountability along the way, but he also gives us grace. When he has all the power, the authority, and the influence to destroy us, grace says, I'm going to step back. I'm going to walk with you until you get it right. Man, that's powerful. That's power under control. That's power with discipline. When you know that you have all of the right and the authority to be somebody's demise, but you say, you know what? I'm going to walk with you until you get it right. I'm going to hold you accountable, but I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to give you some grace until you get it right. Man, that's powerful. That means that you have discipline, that you have self-control as a leader, that you're not emotional, that you don't react, that you don't have knee-jerk reactions, but that you're willing to sit back and assess the whole situation, assess what's really going on, and respond accordingly. There's a difference between reacting and responding. Reacting means that you are out of control, that you are leaning on your emotions to stop a behavior or to get a solution, but responding means that you're sitting back, you're evaluating what's going on, and because you have information, you're able to offer a solution based on the information that you have, right? So we see them better than they see themselves, and we are willing to walk with them. Number two, that you trust them to perform up to the standard of their better self, right? You see their best self. You know what they can become, and you trust them to perform up to that standard. And grace allows you to do that. Grace allows you to sit back and allow them to grow to the standard, to perform to the standard. And third, you will hold them accountable for their potential. You don't allow them to perform below their potential. Even though you have that grace, you don't allow them to perform below their potential, because we know that when whatever environment that we create is the environment that we have to manage. And so if you're creating an environment where where it's acceptable to perform below the potential or the standard, then that's what's going to happen. That's human nature, right? Humans don't like to be challenged. We naturally, we just don't like to. Growth is not something that conflict is not something that we want to do. But when we hold people accountable, when we hold our children accountable, when we hold our clients accountable, we're talking about children today, when we hold them accountable to the standard, that means we're not allowing them to perform below their potential. And not just pointing fingers like, hey, Dean, Naya, you're not doing what I asked you to do. You're not being good listeners. You're not demonstrating behavior, but you're also correcting them along the way, right? Course correcting along the way. Okay, I see that you've done this and it's below the standard. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about how you cannot do that again. Like, what's the standard? Remind them of the standard, and then teach them along the way, right? I have 5 T's that I use in my coaching, 5 T's that I use in my my parenting, and 5 T's that I just use in general as part of my framework, right? And the 5 T's are tell, teach, take them by the hand, take a step back, and troubleshoot. All right? Say that again. Tell, teach, take a step back, take them by the hand, and troubleshoot. I think I said that backwards. Tell, teach, take them by the hand, take a step back, and troubleshoot, right? So telling is just you disseminating information. You're just giving information. There's no, it's transactional. They say they want something, you tell them where to go get it, and that's it. That's telling, this dissemination of information. Teaching is showing them how to use that information for their betterment, showing them how to use that information to get a desired result, show them how to implement what you told them to help them become the better version of themselves, right? Tell, teach, take them by the hand is more of a discipleship. That you're walking with them. You're showing them not only how to implement the information, how to put the information into practice, but you're walking with them. When they fall, you're there. When they're up, you're there. When they need advice, you're there. So you're taking more of a real coaching role. Like, you are involved in the process with them. The take a step back is what I called a covered independence. It's more of like an advisory role. So now that they know what to do, they know how to apply it, you've walked with them. Now you're taking a step back and you're allowing them to walk it out themselves. You're not totally leaving them to total independence. It's a covered independence. There's an accountability piece there as well. So they know what to do, but if they have any questions, if they need some guidance, you're there, kind of like Holy Spirit. And then you troubleshoot. The end one is troubleshoot. So you talk about what went wrong, what went right, what went wrong, and how can we make adjustments. Now the key to these 5 T's is it's not sequential, right? They don't happen in order. It's all situational, right? So understanding who your child is and understanding which one of those T's needs to be implemented at what time, right? And so that's something, when I first developed it, that I had to remember consciously, but now it's part of my coaching DNA. No matter if I'm coaching a client or my children, it's part of my DNA. So it happened like second nature because I've practiced it so long. But again, the 5 T's are tell, teach, take them by the hand, take a step back, and troubleshoot. for me, it just simplifies the whole coaching process. Now you can implement different type of content or strategy inside of the 5 T's, depending on what the situation is. But the framework are those 5 T's, right? So as a parent coach, as somebody who's responsible for showing your child, showing your, what I call your student leader, how to navigate this world, you can actually use those 5 T's in your parenting. And tell me how that works. All right. Thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And remember that what you want to become depends on your willingness to become it. You can visit kingdommogulcoaching.com to learn more about this and other resources that could help you as a coach. And we also have some coaching services too. So if you are running a business and you want to grow your faith as you grow your business, that's what we're here for. If you want to grow your faith as you're growing your business, that's what Kingdom Mogul Coaching is here for. Remember that what you want to become depends on your willingness to become it. Have a great day.